Obviously, JD Vance is not having a good couple of weeks. It seems like every 6 hours or so, some devastating tape of him comes out. And then in response, more and more Republicans are like, I don't know if he should really be the VP pick. And Donald Trump is even facing pressure from Republicans asking him, is this really a good idea? And yesterday, when he talked with Laura Ingraham on Fox News, that was one of the big questions she put to him. And here's how he responded.
What can you say to our viewers tonight to reassure them that this was an excellent pick?
Well, first of all, he's got tremendous support. And he really does among a certain group of people that like families. I mean, he made a statement having to do with families. That doesn't mean that people that aren't a member of a big and beautiful family with 400 children around and everything else, it doesn't mean that a person doesn't have, he's not against, a person doesn't have, he's not against.
Does he know JD Vance? And I say that because he is responding to this controversy that has rocked Vance's chances, that should be a thing, of being the VP, as well as their candidacy, all the cat lady stuff. And if you don't have kids, you're not a real American, you don't really care about anything. That has been gripping their campaign. And his response after days and days of that is, he likes families, he's a big fan of the families. And he's a constituency of families. That's not swaying anyone. That's not convincing anyone. It's not even convincing me that you've been paying attention to all the bad press that your campaign has been getting. I want to briefly say, when Laura Ingraham's like, what can you say to our viewers to reassure them that this was an excellent pick? Laura, I understand you're a propagandist. I understand that. Excellent pick is out the door. You can forget about excellent pick. Excellent pick is in the rearview mirror 10 miles behind us. Acceptable pick is what is being debated right now. Disastrous pick is something that's being considered now. Excellent pick, we're way past that. But I want to give you just a little bit more of him attempting to do damage control here, because she actually did kind of press him on Vance. She's clearly not a big fan. Take a look at this.
So what do you say to women out there watching? He's addressed it, but what do you say to women out there watching?
I think
who may not have kids?
I think they understand it. No, I think they understand it.
A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
I agree with Donald Trump, Maz, and I think that's the bad thing for them. I do think that women understand it. I think lots of people actually understand what JD Vance is about. Laura Ingraham with her, he's already addressed it. No, he hasn't. I mean, he's responded. He didn't address it in a way that made it any better for him. Thus, the questions you're asking right now. But what do you make of this? Do you think that people get it?
Well, there's a lot. First of all, he said, people with families, and he goes, 400 children running around. I'm like, how many children does he have that we don't know about? Like, I mean, is he, I guess in his mind, he's like, when you're going around cheating and having babies all over the place, there's probably 400 children out there. So his idea of a family was pretty big, 400 children. It's a disaster. I mean, I've seen some people point out the fact of if they couldn't vet this guy and get the right guy, that just shows you the decision making that's going on. He doesn't bring anything additional to Trump's base. He doesn't bring some part of the base that Trump didn't have. And when he says there's people out there that like him, he's basically saying that the tech billionaires that are going to pay some money to me said I should pick him. They like him, so they want him because they want to have an insider in the White House. They want to have an insider in government so that they can start doing their quid pro quo and getting more things done for them that they want done for them. So he's willing to look past all the guy's faults because he's probably thinking, I don't even need a vice president. But that's probably how this guy thinks. I don't even need a vice president. Just these guys are giving me hundreds of or whatever billions of dollars or whatever they've promised him at some point. And he's saying I'm going to stick with the guy. It'll be interesting to see if he finds a way to get rid of the guy. That would be really funny. And I mean, that would really make it a lot of fun if he found a way. And I don't know if they'd make an excuse to be like, JD got COVID and he can't campaign, but it would be very fun and interesting if he did. Just for the fun of the campaign, I would like to see that.
I think that would be hilarious, although I do think that they have put themselves in a difficult position to do that, as funny as it would be. They make stupid decisions and then find themselves, thanks to their other stupidity, having a hard time fixing the stupid decisions. And by that I mean, like, they pick the guy that does nothing for the ticket, maybe delivers some tech billionaires that I think would have donated to Trump anyway, and that's pretty much it. So they'd like to replace him, but the issue is they just went through a multi-week process of declaring that Joe Biden being replaced by Harris is a bloodless coup. So are you gonna do a little coup? And meanwhile, JD Vance, like, he brings nothing to the ticket. And what is the best case scenario for this guy? He doesn't get replaced, and maybe he, like Mike Pence, dodges the bloodthirsty mob that comes for him in a few years. Like, that's best case scenario. And in the meantime, for Donald Trump, like, he wasn't super defensive there. Like, I would say that's good for Vance. But Donald Trump does not want to be being asked questions like this at an interview. He did not pick JD Vance to have scandal. It was one of the main criticisms I made of the pick at the RNC was he could have had a Ben Carson. He could have had a Tim Scott. He could have had somebody that wasn't really gonna kick up a lot of dust and cause problems, but instead he chose the guy who seems perfectly suited to cause problems for him, and he doesn't want him because he causes enough problems for himself.
And the guy, by the way, who has the least experience, who's also, again, it's an easy attack to say this guy is one heartbeat away from the presidency.
Yeah.
And so who do you want this? Do you want to vote for this ticket? Because if you vote for this ticket, you may end up with this guy, JD Vance, who's making very awkward jokes about Mountain Dew. I'm sure you saw that clip. He's never led a company. I've seen Pete Buttigieg hit on that a lot. It's great. You know, Pete Buttigieg out there has been fantastic. He's never led a company. He's never actually been an executive, a leader in for government. He's in the Senate right now, but a little bit for a short term so far. But again, he's never been a leader in that way. So, do you want that guy to be next in line? That's a good question.
And my answer, no.